What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy All Around Rule with a Week 10 UFL recap and reaction. Last Friday we had the Battlehawks taking on the Defenders. This game was messed up by the rain, so we had a delay. They played a series. The Battlehawks scored, and then they delayed the game. They end up starting it back, but it was sloppy, a lot of rain. The field was flooded with a lot of rain puddles, so it was a lot of running the ball, a lot of slipping, a lot of sliding. The Battlehawks eventually ended up winning 13-8. It wasn't really the ball game that I expected, but they end up getting the dub, moving to 8-2, and getting ready for the rematch in the XFL Conference Championship game this Sunday. Saturday we had the Roughnecks taking on the Panthers in Detroit. The Panthers went with Rocky Lombardi, their draft pick last year. He started off cool. He had a touchdown called back by a holding play, and I think that really fucked up his momentum. Excuse my language. Yeah, and then the Roughnecks, they played some cool football. McClendon, I think he should be the starter of the team next year. I think if he start, I think they finish differently. I think they make the playoffs. The Panthers, they got some things to work on before they play the Stallions in the USFL Conference Championship. They definitely got to figure out that back end of that defense. I think that's the Achilles heel of their team right now. I think if they was to have a slightly better secondary like they had last year, I think last year their secondary was a little bit better. I think they will really be a real threat to the Stallions, but right now, I just think that back end is just not good enough. The Roughnecks end up winning the game 19-12. It was a cool game. The Panthers, they end up trying to bring Danny in there in the second half, and it just didn't catch no steam. Sunday, we had the Renegades taking on the Brahmas in San Antonio. The Renegades they're a good team. I feel like sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot, but their defense is good. Their offense is good. I just think some costly game decisions cost them a spot in the playoff contention. I think they could have been in contention all the way until basically now, but they chose to do other things, and it cost them. But in this game, they dominated. They beat the Brahmas 23-6. The Brahmas, they need to be studied, how they went from, I wouldn't say they was first in the XFL conference, because they was definitely not first. They pulled off an upset last year. So I would really say like second. They was the conference champion though, but they really was second, like for real. So they didn't win the regular season title. So, yeah, the defense was terrible. I don't know, man. I just felt like soon as I knew Kellen Mond was going to be their starting quarterback, and I just knew that was going to be terrible, because I watched plenty of Kellen Mond preseason highlights, last year and this year, especially last year because he was one of the most common names being brought up as far as like people, UFL fans, well, really XFL, because at that time it was the XFL. A lot of people wanted him to play in the XFL, but he was not. He didn't want to come at that time. But so I was studying him way before he even decided to come to the UFL. So when he signed to the Brahmas, I was just like, they're gonna be terrible, because I watched a lot of preseason games and he was terrible in my eyes. But like I said, they lost. The Stallions, they played the Showboats, dominated. They warming up, they heating up at the right time. They looking scary. Yeah, that's really much what I gotta say when I'm talking about the Stallions, especially at the end of the season. They always heat up around the end of the season. They heat up right on time. The Showboats, again, when I knew they was going with E.J. Perry and Troy Williams, I knew they was going to be terrible. A lot of people was hyping Troy Williams up. I seen him with the Maulers. He couldn't do it. I like the E.J. Perry, though. Don't get me wrong. I like the E.J. Perry, but I just know he cannot do it. So, I mean, yeah, it was already set in stone that they was gonna be trash, man. So yeah, the Stallions beat them 46-9. Wasn't even a game. 2 pick sixes. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, that's my week 10 recap and review. See y'all in a few days for the playoff picks. I'll holla at y'all.